coming up on today's show.
So these are the things that your corporation requires of you. This is where you would put your hours that you worked, how you apply for sick time, how you apply for vacation time.
So like we did in the other two colors, how do you relate this to your Friday activity, and maybe refresh people what the Friday activity is?
I could do blue in 15 minutes or less, but at least there's a place now for me to put all of those corporate related things that I didn't used to have a place for.
Organizing your business papers, part 2, today on keeping you organized. Welcome to Keeping You Organized. Today we are going to pick up on a discussion we started last time where we're talking about setting up just good old-fashioned organization systems for businesses. Okay, so maybe even if you've been in business for a while, you know, maybe your filing system or your what we're going to focus on is our active filing system isn't maybe quite up to snuff. So we have Lisa Woodruff from Organized365.com, and last time, Lisa, we talked about this 4-colored folder system, the active file, the one that sits up on the top of your desk in a little box, not necessarily the file drawer, which is more archival, and we'll touch on that a little bit. But so last time we talked about these 4 colors, and we covered pink, which was leads, and we also covered purple, which was royalty. Now there's 2 more we got to hit on. What's next?
So next is going to be blue, and blue is the color of loyalty, and blue is your team, your company color, and your personal development. So that is everything related to the company that you actually work for.
Okay, so just give me some more examples of what would go in that blue folder.
So if you are an employee, then you often are given a handbook and reviews and things like this, or meeting minutes or upcoming meetings, this stuff that you need to be able to put your hand on, or you need to be able to reference, and it needs to be on top of your desk, because otherwise it gets mixed in with your other papers and it starts to distract you. So this is a way to put any company information from the company president, your leader in the company, or general overview company information would be the first category.
Okay.
The second category would be maybe you are the president or the CEO of your company. Then this is your team members, or your team departments, or your goals that you have for your company would be in there as well. And then the third category would be personal development. And especially in today's day and age, I think we're at 25% freelancers in the United States as of this recording. They say that'll go up to 50% soon. We all really are owners of our own businesses. And the way to make yourself more valuable is to have personal development. Like, you need to grow yourself for the roles that you're in. And that doesn't necessarily mean a college, getting more college training. It could be a course that you take. It could be a mastermind that you're in. It could be podcasts that you listen to, books that you're reading, whatever you're doing to grow yourself as a person.
Wow. Well, that covers a lot there. Now, what's popping into my mind right away is, okay, well, some of that stuff may sound like it's more referencey and shouldn't belong on the desktop. So how do you decide what goes on the desktop and what goes in the archival or the longer term storage file drawer?
Yeah, you could very well file almost all of that except for your personal development if you wanted to.
Okay.
But leave at least one folder there to remind yourself, like, what am I doing for the company and what am I doing for me? Because I am my own company now.
Yeah, and if we remember back to the last podcast, the purple folders were more kind of like the projects you're working on. This may or may not be a project, but it's something that's important to advancing the company? Correct. Okay. Mm-hmm. Great. Anything else on that blue folder? Because you have the personal development, which that sounds pretty normal. Can you give any other examples for other blue folders? I'm still trying to get my hands around maybe what would be on that desktop that's in blue.
Yes. So for teachers, it's really important to have those blue folders, because this will be your discipline policy and your handbook, and you do need to have these kind of things on your desk. And even some schools, they will evaluate you if you have those things at your fingertips.
Yes.
It just depends on what profession you're in, how much you need to have those things right at your fingertips. I know we had somebody come over to my new warehouse and they were like, you need to have the labor law poster up, otherwise you get fined $3,000. I was like, give me a poster. How much are the posters? And there are all these things as you grow in your own business or you're an employee that you need to have, the meeting minutes or a place to put your meeting notes every single week, and then bring your to-dos to the next meeting. If you're doing the EOS system, you need to have your to-dos written out. So these are the things that your corporation requires of you. This is where you would put your hours that you worked, how you apply for sick time, how you apply for vacation time. All of those kinds of things will be in blue.
Yeah, and would you put something like a price list that you have to refer to a lot? If you're a salesperson who needs to quote pricing, would you have that in that, or would that be in another folder?
Sure, you definitely could do that. I mean, you can decide what you want to. There are like parameters for these colors that I've given you, and then you totally individualize it and make it your own.
Well, like we did in the other two colors, how do you relate this to your Friday activity, and maybe refresh people what the Friday activity is for those who maybe didn't see the last episode?
Okay, so Friday at 2:00, I empty out my workbox and I sort everything by color. I've also written myself a bunch of notes that I put in there. I look back over my Google Calendar from last week and upcoming for next week. I review the work that I've done, and I plan the week that I'm going to have coming up next. Sometimes I even look 2 weeks out. So for the blue folders, this is when I would file those meeting notes, update the handbook, update the price sheet. Like any of those are really reference. I could do blue in 15 minutes or less, but at least there's a place now for me to put all of those corporate related things that I didn't used to have a place for.
Right. Okay. Well, good. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll do the final color and the last folder category of this organizing your business papers. We're with Lisa Woodruff, Organize365.com, and we'll be right back. Stock up on your favorite organizing products now at myorganize.life. This is the perfect time of year to equip your office with file folders, expanding files, project organizers, and more. And introducing our new bright white folder line that coordinates with any office decor. It's easy, shop online, and it's delivered right to your office. Stock up now on your favorites with everything you need at myorganize.life. That's myorganize.life. myorganize.life. We're back now on Keeping You Organized, talking about organizing business papers from a high level, categorizing into 4 color groupings, and particularly on your active file, the thing that sits on top of your desk that you're using on either a daily, weekly, or maybe even a monthly basis. And Lisa Woodruff, Organize365.com, we've got one more color. What is it?
Green.
It's got to be something to do with money, right?
Yes. Well, usually it has to do with money, but not every person has money in their job description. Okay. So it's really your administrative color. It's for your daily, weekly, and monthly tasks. I find that we have one of two kinds of people. People that will gravitate to the administrative tasks because they're easy to do and they feel like they're checking a bunch of things off the checklist. So they stay on top of their administrative tasks, but they might not have any pink or purple going on. Or people that are so focused on leads and their customers that they're like, I'll do the administrative later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And they never get to those green slash buckets. We kind of need a happy medium here.
Right. Now, would you say like paying bills, which is an administrative task, would that kind of go in one of these?
Yep. You can have paying bills. You can have filing expense reports. You can have sending up company emails, like whatever it is that you do every single week or every day or every month, the repetitive tasks in your job that you do over and over and over again, those are going to be green.
Okay. So let's say on Fridays, so are you paying bills on Fridays when you go through that 2 o'clock thing, or do you put them in another system where they get paid at a certain time, or how does that work?
That depends. If you only pay a couple of bills, you may do it on Friday. If you are in charge of payroll, that may be your whole Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So it depends. For me, I did do it on Fridays, and now I have a bookkeeper. So what I would do is gather all of my receipts, print out anything that I need to do, take all that envelope, and I would put it in a file, and somebody on Monday delivers that to my bookkeeper for me. So it's wherever you are in that process, thinking about the money. I also get all of my reports on Friday. So I look back over how much our sales were, how much our expenses were, how much we have in each of our bank accounts. And then I look at what's coming up next week. How much revenue can I anticipate? Are there any big expenses coming up next week?
Right. And would you say that that's something, so you have like a weekly report, would you take and like take last week's report and put it away and like file it somewhere? Is that kind of a transitional thing that happens?
Yes, you definitely will clear out your Slash Pocket and put it into your filing folder, or a lot of times I just shred it. I mean, because that information is available online. I just love to have a hard copy. And actually, the more we do research with people who are working, we find that they are printing out their emails. They do like that physical hard copy. And our brains recognize things in print differently than things on a computer screen. So I like to look at them. I like to look at last week, over this week. I usually keep about a quarter's worth of documents in there until we have a quarter year end. And then I will shred the rest of that.
Okay, so have we covered everything with the green folders that you can think of?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with green is you don't really think about how many things you do every day, every week, and every month. And as you start to get that going, you can create a daily, weekly, and monthly checklist. Pull that checklist out at the beginning of the week on Monday, and just you would need to create it. On Monday, it would say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You'd have specific tasks on it each day. And then also a column is due each week. Then as you find on a Wednesday afternoon, it's like 4 o'clock, you're like, I'll check my weekly checklist, and you'll go over, I can check off a bunch of those, and start batching those tasks that you do every single week in a more organized fashion.
Okay, good. So in case someone didn't see both episodes, I want to kind of wrap this up with maybe a summary of the whole system again. Kind of let's take it from the top. Tell us about the kind of container and the kind of colors and folders and what they all do, just kind of to wrap it all up in one kind of conclusion.
Okay, so I have work boxes, Friday work boxes. It is like a 9x12 box that sits on top of your desk, and it has colored Slash Pockets in it. They are pink, blue, green, and purple. And each of those Slash Pockets have a different goal in your business. What I find for people who are working for themselves or even working for other people is we have so much coming at us through email and to-dos and instant messages that we're constantly putting out fires all of the time. But if you can stop at 2 o'clock on Friday and look at all of these different areas of your business, leads, customers, company information, and repetitive tasks, that you can start to get your calendar to match those colors. Yes. And then you have a more well-rounded, more profitable business.
Well, this is great. Do you also, in fact, why don't we transition into our ending here where you can tell us about your business, but I'm kind of curious, do you teach a class on this? So like, I know you have the box and the folders available for people, but is there any training that you can provide, or do you feel like what comes with it is pretty self-explanatory?
Yes, so I'm a teacher by trade, so I know that people learn from seeing, doing, and reading. Okay. So when you buy any of my work boxes, you get all the materials you need, the box plus the Slash Pockets plus a booklet, a full color booklet that explains everything that I've just explained to you here today. Okay. And then you also get access to an online portal that we have at Organize 365, where you get to watch videos about how to put together your workbox and why to put it together that way. And then you get access to a Facebook group where twice a month I go in there and I answer everybody's questions live.
Oh, that is awesome. So let's give out the website again and just summarize what other things you might do for your business.
It's organize365.com, and you would just click on shop to see all of the different work boxes that we have. And I am an online podcaster, blogger, and author, and I just teach you how to organize your home and your home-based business. Awesome.
Well, Lisa, this has just been great. So now you've got the Sunday organizing basket, you got the Friday. You still have 5 days left, so I think you have some work to do, don't you?
Well, most of us are, integrating work and home. So yeah. I focus on home with the Sunday basket. I focus on work with the Friday box. I'm not doing more days of boxes.
Okay, good. All right. Well, Lisa, thanks a lot. And I'm sure we'll have you back again.
Thanks, John. I'd be happy to.
Okay, there you go, folks. Now you've got a good understanding of how to organize your business papers in a very systematic way. If you didn't see the first episode, go back and see our last one, because the two together really explain the system well. And we will see you next time on Keeping You Organized.